Student, let's see force on a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field. Through experiments, Ampere established that when a current element ideal vector is placed in a magnetic field B, it experiences a force dF vector equal to ideal vector cross B vector. From this expression, it is clear that the magnitude of force is dF equal to Bi dl sin theta, where theta is the angle between the vectors ideal vector and B vector. So, first, force on a current element will be minimum equal to 0 when sin theta equal to minimum equal to 0. That is theta equal to 0 degree or 180 degree. That is, a current element in a magnetic field does not experience any force if the current in it is collinear with the field. Second, the force on the current element will be maximum equal to Bi dl when sin theta equal to maximum equal to 1, that is theta equal to 90 degree. That is, force on a current element in a magnetic field is maximum equal to Bi dl when it is perpendicular to the field. B. The direction of force is always perpendicular to the plane containing ideal vector and B vector and is same as that of cross product of two vectors A cross B with A vector equal to ideal vector. The direction of force when current element ideal vector and B vector are perpendicular to each other can also be determined by applying either of the following rules. First, Fleming's left hand rule states the forefinger, central forefinger and thumb of left hand mutually perpendicular. Then, if the forefinger points in the direction of field B vector, the central finger in the direction of current I, the thumb will point in the direction of force or motion, as shown in figure A. Second, right hand palm rule states the fingers and thumb of right hand at right angles to each other. Then, if the fingers point in the direction of field B and thumb in the direction of current I, the normal two palm will point in the direction of force or motion. Figure B. Regarding the force on a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field, it is worth mentioning that first, as the force Bi dl sin theta is not a function of position r, the magnetic force on a current element is non-central. A central force is of the form F equal to Kf r nr vector. Second, the force dF vector is always perpendicular to both B vector and ideal vector, though B vector and ideal vector may or may not be perpendicular to each other. Third, in case of current carrying conductor in a magnetic field, if the field is uniform, that is B equal to constant, F vector equal to integration ideal vector cross B vector equal to I integration dl vector cross B vector, and as for a conductor, integration dl vector represents the vector sum of all the length elements from initial to final point, which is in accordance with the law of vector addition is equal to the length vector L dash vector joining initial to final point. So, a current carrying conductor of any arbitrary shape in a uniform field experiences a force F vector equal to I integration dl vector cross B vector equal to I L dash vector cross B vector, where L dash vector is the length vector joining initial and final points of the conductor as shown in figure A. Fourth, if the current carrying conductor in the form of a loop of any arbitrary shape is placed in a uniform field, F vector equal to integration round the closed curve ideal vector cross B vector equal to I integration round the closed curve dl vector cross B vector, and as for a closed loop the vector sum of dl vector is always 0, so F vector equal to 0 as integration dl vector round the closed curve equal to 0. That is, the net magnetic force on a current loop in a uniform magnetic field is always 0 as shown in figure B. Here it must be kept in mind that in this situation different parts of the loop may experience elemental force due to which the loop may be under tension or may experience a torque as shown in figure. Fifth, if a current carrying conductor is situated in a non-uniform field, its different elements will experience different forces. So in this situation, if resultant vector is not equal to 0, but tau vector, that is torque vector, may or may not be 0. If the conductor is free to move, it translates with or without rotation as shown in figure A and B. 6. The net force on a current carrying conductor due to its own field is 0. So if there are two long parallel current carrying wires 1 and 2 as shown in figure, wire 1 will be in the field of wire 2 and vice versa. So force on dl2 length of wire 2 due to field of wire 1 df2 equal to I2 dl2 b1 equal to mu naught upon 4 pi to I1 I2 upon d dl2, as b1 equal to mu naught upon 4 pi to I1 upon d, that is df2 upon dl2 equal to mu naught upon 4 pi to I1 I2 upon d. Same will be true for wire 1 in the field of wire 2. The direction of force in accordance with Fleming's left hand rule will be as shown in figure. So force per unit length in case of two parallel current carrying wires separated by a distance d is given by df upon dl equal to mu naught upon 4 pi to I1 I2 upon d. And the force between the wires is attractive if the current in them is in the same direction, otherwise repulsive. This is opposite to that of what happens between two charges. 7. In case of a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field, if the conductor experiences a force and is free to move, work will be done and hence its kinetic energy or speed will change, that is work done equal to change in kinetic energy with W equal to integration F dot ds vector